iOS 15.1 contains many new settings that can really negatively impact the way you use your iPhone.
In other words, it can screw up your iPhone.
And
new settings.
Sneaky Apple is always trying to get you to turn those settings that we tell you to turn off. They want you to turn those back on. We're going to say, no, Apple. No chance. Let's start in the Settings app. Open Settings. Scroll down, and we're going to tap on Safari. First thing to look at here, Preload Top Hit. We recommend turning this off.
We sure do, because you're on a website like Google. You're doing a search. Google thinks that you're going to go to the first result, so it's going to start loading images, whatever, in the background, thinking that you're going to go to the first result in Google, which most people do. A plurality of people do.
Absolutely.
But not everybody.
Yep, next we're going to scroll down. Prevent cross-site tracking, turn that on. This prevents, advertisers, companies from tracking you as you go across multiple websites in Safari on your iPhone.
Right. It's a good privacy thing.
Yep. And then hide IP address, tap on that. We recommend tapping from trackers. Again, just really cutting down on how much you are tracked while using Safari on your iPhone.
Everyone on the internet has an IP address. And if they know your personal IP address, it's like knowing your home address.
If you like those tips, quick thumbs up on this video helps us out tremendously.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Let's tap back to Safari, back to Settings, scroll up and tap on Mail. First thing to look at here, privacy protection. Make sure this switch is on.
Right. You're looking at an email on your iPhone. In the background of this email are invisible tracking pixels that are loading. They're images, 1 pixel images, and they're loading from websites like Google and Facebook. Why? Because,
Track you?
To track you.
Yeah.
Protect mail activity. So this is going to protect your mail activity. Let's say that you're opening an LL Bean email. We were talking about this yesterday. And there's a picture of mittens, and there's hats, and there's jackets. And you click on the jackets. Now all of a sudden, LL Bean has you in the jackets bucket. So now you're not only going to get information from LL Bean about like their general promotions, now you're going to get more emails about jackets. Now you're also more valuable in case LL Bean, not saying they would do this, wants to sell your information to other jacket companies.
Jackets are us.
Right.
They say, we want that person, we'll buy that list, and then you're getting emails from Jackets are us, and you never sign up for that.
I didn't sign up for this.
Next, tap back, upper left-hand corner of the screen, and tap on Accounts, then tap Fetch New Data. What are we doing here?
We're going to turn off Push at the top. That's
Boom.
number 1, and then we're going to change Fetch to an interval of your choice.
I prefer every 30 minutes. I don't use a lot of mail on my iPhone, and one thing we should say, even though mail isn't going to be pushed to you constantly, anytime you open the Mail app, it does get pushed to you, so you're not really losing anything here. If you're enjoying this video, consider subscribing to this channel. Obviously, iOS 15.1 won't be the final iOS update, and we're going to put out more iOS update, settings videos. And
Right, we got your back. So subscribe because we have your back, and because we're trying to get to 1 million subscribers, and it would mean a lot to us.
Let's tap back, main page of settings, and we're going to go up here to privacy. First, tap on Tracking, allow apps to request to track.
So we want to turn the switch off.
Right.
First off, because it's annoying, because every time, I actually turned this on the other day for some reason, and then I was opening all these apps, and it's like, hey, Reddit would like to track you across different apps. Of course I said no.
Well, they're banking on you just tapping, okay, I just want to use my app.
Right, and it's not Apple that's banking on you, it's all these other companies, and that's why Facebook hates it.
Yes.
Hates this setting. They said it was going to ruin small businesses who are using this type of data to target their customers.
See, a couple options here. You can go one by one, and if you want, one of these apps to be able to track you all the time, then
God bless you.
Fine.
Maybe you own Facebook.
Maybe Mark Zuckerberg's watching this video.
Yeah.
However, I just like to turn the switch off at the top of the screen, then tap Ask Apps to stop tracking, turns off all the switches, and now no other apps will be able to
Now, if you're
ask.
CEO of one of these companies and you want us to say, like, oh, maybe you should leave this app on, feel free to reach out with an offer.
Yeah, the contact emails in the About page.
It's in the About page.
Let's tap back to privacy. Scroll down here for a quick tip, analytics and improvements. Turn off that switch at the top of the screen.
Right, but how much can that actually do, David?
It's a little bit.
A lot.
A little bit.
A whole lot. Because if you look at this, all this stuff, Analytics Daily, all this is getting sent to Apple. This is all personal information. Well,
and it
sort of.
could also use cellular data to send this information to Apple. And
of course.
If you're in a low data plan, then those little chunks, they add up over time and you run out of data.
Right.
Next, let's tap back. One below analytics and improvements is Apple advertising. I like to turn off personalized ads. Apple says you won't see a reduction in the number of ads you see, which might not be true because now you're a less valuable advertising target, but you're still going to see the relevant ads.
I'm a person. I'm not an advertising target. Or am I?
You are, if you're using a free service like Facebook or
Right. That's what they say, right? In the social network.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the product is, you're the product.
yeah.
You're the product.
So if you're concerned about not seeing relevant ads, don't worry. You can still be delivered contextual ads. If you're on an iPhone help website, you might see an iPhone repair service. It kind of just makes sense like that. And if you really want super personalized ads based on what Apple is sending you, you can turn it on.
I think they think that they're going to see really bad stuff if they turn this off, because all of a sudden I'm going to see low quality ads from nefarious advertisers. It's not going to make a difference.
Let's step back to privacy. Record app activity. We're still waiting on that really nice interface here.
Right.
And I thought 15.1 would give that to us. Hopefully 15.2. I don't know. I'm getting increasingly pessimistic about this. But this is going to save a summary of when your apps access your data.
I can't remember a time when Apple announced a feature and they had the screenshots, and then they were kind of like, maybe we're not going to actually do that.
So you can tap Save App Activity, and it'll give you this JSON file, which is really difficult for pretty much anyone to figure out what
And
it's
did you
saying.
see how big that is? That's like 528 kilobytes.
Kilobytes, yeah.
That's like a half a megabyte. That's 500,000 characters that you have to sift through to understand what this is doing. I think that they don't have it turned on yet because they know that when people see how many websites apps are actually contacting, and most of it's totally legit.
Most of
They're going to go to every single app developer and be like, why are you tracking me on Google? Minesweeper.
Yeah.
Is Minesweeper an app?
I'm sure there's a Minesweeper app.
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there's a bad app developer who made one that will track you on Google.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Let's tap back to privacy. We're going to go up here and tap on location services. First things first, leave that location services switch on. We're not crazy, but we do want to help you pick and choose which apps actually get to use your location.
Right, we want to put you in control.
And the word to look out for here is always. So DraftKings, daily fantasy sports website. Daily fantasy sports is not legal in every state, but it is in New York. And DraftKings needs your location to confirm where you are to make sure you're not placing illegal contest entries.
Right. Why is DraftKings legal in New York, but some of these other ones aren't?
I don't know.
It must have something to do with money.
Yeah.
Well, using this app is a good choice because then it will only use it while using the app.
Obviously.
Also look out for precise location. So for an app like this, I just need to be present in New York. It doesn't need to be that precise, but when you have precise location plus always, super to the point where you are, and it could just drain your battery.
Battery life, yeah. The more precise your iPhone can tell your location, the more power it puts out contacting the GPS and doing all that stuff. And it could be a big difference. So turning this switch off can save your battery life. It's not just a matter of privacy.
Let's tap back, upper left-hand corner of the screen. We're gonna come down here to System Services. We have a whole bunch of switches turned on by default, and we're really only gonna leave on a few. It's emergency calls and SOS, find my iPhone, and then if you use share my location, leave that one on too.
Yep, a lot of these settings sound scary if you turn them off, but they're not. Networking and wireless.
Yep.
This has to do with the U1 chip. For instance, if I want to point my phone at somebody and airdrop something, as opposed to, I guess it might be helpful in like a very crowded subway. If you're airdropping to your friends, you're not going to see everybody else's phone if you point your phone at them. But if you're not, turn this off.
So we turned off all these switches. Let's scroll down and tap on significant locations. Used to be frequent locations. That sounded weird. Apple's like, maybe we should rebrand this so people don't think that we're like stalking them.
Stalking, yeah.
So this will save a list of all the places you've been. Helps out in calendar, photos, mail.
Yeah, it knows where home is. It knows where work is.
But, I don't really, if you're someone who doesn't use that and you want to save a little bit of battery life, significant locations, turn that switch off. Turn off.
Great.
Let's tap back. Look under here, product improvement. We're just going to turn these right off.
Yeah. The other day, I wanted to go get some cat food. I asked Siri, hey, when does Petco close? She's like, oh, closed at 8 p.m. I get there, closed at 7. I don't think it has anything to do with that, but it was really,
That sounds frustrating. Earlier in this video, we teased a tip for iPhone 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max users. We're going to go to the camera section of the settings app, and there's stuff for all iOS 15 users in here too. So let's get going. Back one more time. Come down here to camera. Tap on that. And we'll start with formats. Here is a new iOS 15.1 setting, video capture Apple ProRes.
Right. This is a dangerous feature if you don't know what you're doing with it. I think the number one reason it's dangerous is because of the amount of data or storage space that these files take up. It's crazy. What does it say? 6 gigabytes?
6 gigabytes for 1 minute of 4K. And then also the transferring from your iPhone to your computer is really, really slow.
Right.
And it just...
It's bafflingly slow.
Mm-hmm.
The USB 2.0 data speeds from an iPhone 13, we tested it. We did a test.
Yeah. It's
And we tested it.
very slow.
Very slow, yeah.
So most people, it's a cool feature. You might want to try it out for like a 15-second video. That's fine, but
Right.
you're really, unless you're a pro videographer recording movies
Right.
on your iPhone that are then edited in Final Cut or Adobe Premiere Pro, if you have all those things, fine, leave it on. But for most people, no.
Right. The camera app makes movies look really good. This records a whole bunch of other data that if you wanted to make them look really different would be very useful. But if you want your movies to look good, just leave this off.
Let's tap back to camera and then tap on preserve settings at the top of the screen, preserve camera mode, kind of a convenience feature. Maybe you're recording videos and you got to go back and forth and you don't want it to reset to photo every single time. There you go.
Right.
The other big one is live photo.
Right. Conspiracy? Yes, because Apple wants you to leave this setting on all the time so that you take little video files, which are live photos, instead of photos. Now, I might think that this isn't a conspiracy if this page was in alphabetical order. But all of a sudden, they put
Oh,
live,
look
you
at
know
that.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah, sneaky.
They do not, sneaky Apple, they don't want you to turn that off.
Yeah.
This is the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yep, be careful with that. It takes a bunch of storage space. And
They're going to keep adding more. I bet you in like a 15.2, or at least by 16,
those-
we've got set. I bet it's off the bottom
It'll
of the
be
page.
below the fold.
Yeah.
Let's tap back to camera. And then we're going to scroll all the way down here. Another iOS 15.1 camera feature, auto macro.
Yep. Just a convenience feature. Want to have that on.
Switching to the macro lens is kind of tricky when you do it manually. To like go to the
Yeah,
0.5 and then you
all the
tap
way
on
down.
the screen, and easier just to do the auto macro.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be improved over the next few iOS updates, and I bet we'll see some new settings in here too.
Yep, let's tap back to the main page of the settings app. Another change that we noticed today, actually, let's go up to cellular. A couple things to look at here. Scroll all the way down. We've got a couple switches here. iCloud Drive, we're going to turn this off.
Yep.
And then iCloud Backup. This used to be in settings, your name, iCloud Backup, and then it was kind of buried there, and we're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, this is a silly. It has everything to do with cellular.
And this actually got turned back on for me without my knowledge. So, it really highlights the importance of actually going back and checking all these settings pretty regularly.
Yep.
But iCloud Backup over cellular data.
I wonder if it got turned back on because they moved it here.
It's possible.
Yeah, and so yeah.
Do you want iCloud backups to be done over cellular data?
Nope.
No, because they're gigantic and you'll burn through your entire data plan.
Yep. Or your high-speed data cap if you have an unlimited data plan.
Yep. Just back it up over Wi-Fi. Those updates can happen automatically. Just plug in your iPhone connected to Wi-Fi, and there you go.
And turn off the screen, it'll happen automatically.
One thing we're seeing more and more with iOS updates like 15.1 is that Apple is finally admitting that some of the things that are just turned on by default on your iPhone do use battery life, and it's so significant they have to admit to it. One of those settings is background app refresh. We've been saying, you said this, what, 2015?
I said this like 2015, yeah. I used to say it's in the Apple Store, 2011.
Let's tap back to settings, tap general, tap background app refresh. First thing to look at here, background app refresh, top of the screen, currently set to Wi-Fi and cellular data. That means that your iPhone can use Wi-Fi or cellular data to download new content for apps in the background of your iPhone.
Yeah, even when you're not using them, it's going to be downloading new stuff. Battery drainer, cellular data drainer.
Yep, let's switch that to Wi-Fi, and then you've got this list of apps. Which apps do you want to be able to download new content in the background of your iPhone? Messaging apps?
Right.
You probably do, because you want those messages to download, and then when you open the app, it's already right there.
Exactly.
But pretty much anything else, I mean...
Yeah, because it's going to download this content when you open the app. How long does it take? It doesn't take very long at all.
just open the app, boom.
Yep, battery life. Every time you flip one of these switches, give yourself a pat on the back because you're saving a little bit more battery life.
So while I'm turning off these switches, why don't you tell them why they should join this channel?
Well, get in our Discord, and we're going to be giving away some bigger stuff coming up pretty soon. We're giving away the AirTags. Also, early access to some videos, member shout-outs. We're just now rolling out those videos where we shouted out the members, and yeah, look at David.
I'm still going here. This is brutal.
You did great.
There we go.
Woo.
We did it. Next up, let's go back to the main page of the settings app. Scroll down and tap on accessibility, then tap motion. First thing real quick, reduce motion top of the screen. Another, small battery tip that'll cut down on those animations. It's a bit jarring at first, but you kind of get used to it.
Right. And then limit frame rate here. We're going to limit it to 60 frames per second. So we're turning off the 120 hertz display. Would you just like tap back a couple of times in the menu there? And then go forward again? Okay, and then turn off limit frame rate? I don't see a big difference.
When I first took out the iPhone 13 Pro and compared to my iPhone 11, I definitely noticed the 120 hertz refresh rate.
Right. And so when you were scrolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the display itself is better too. I mean, it's like an XDR display. And
yeah.
I don't see a huge difference. I know that there is a huge difference. I get it. I've seen the slow-mo videos, but this will save battery life.
Well, what you could do is you could try it out with the 60 hertz versus 120 hertz if you want to save some battery life and you don't really care and it looks the same to you. Go ahead, turn that switch on.
Yeah, 120 hertz. It's going to look silky smooth, I know. I just don't have an iPhone 13 Pro, so I'm a little jealous maybe.
Those are our iOS 15.1 settings to change. Thanks for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. As we said, there are going to be more iOS updates, and we're going to do more iOS update videos.
Because we have your back.
Yes.
So, but you won't find out about them if you're not subscribed. So it helps us. I'm not going to lie, but thank you very much.
Thanks for watching.